Ada for asking mom's boyfriend to stop trying to parent me. My father passed away unexpectedly about a year ago, and my mother met this great guy, who she has been seeing ever since. I'm 23 years old and about to enter my last year of college. My mother's lover is the father of 2 children, aged 15 and 13. My mother has stepped in to act as a mother figure to them, and my boyfriend has stepped into my extended family and quickly established himself as everyone's favorite uncle and grandfather. But even if everyone else seems content, I'm not happy with my situation. He isn't a bad person. I'm simply still grieving the loss of my father, and it seems that he is attempting to take his place. He tries to impose norms on me, such as chores and curfews, that my father specifically refused to do since he thought they were ridiculous for an adult to be subjected to. My boyfriend argues that it is only fair since I now have siblings. Because of our age differences, I feel it is absurd to have the same laws apply to both of us. He is attempting to persuade me to share my assets with his children. Despite the fact that they have everything they need, he believes it is only fair due to the fact that they are family. Currently, I am residing in the basement of my mother's house. I've had it since I was 15 years old. There are stairs leading up to the first floor of the house and a basement door to greet you as you arrive at the front door. As a result, it is distinct. For my friend's baccalaureate party last night, I dead for them and came home at 2 a.m. I was completely spent. Given that classes don't start until the next week and my new work doesn't start for another 2 weeks, I had nothing to do until 3 o'clock this afternoon. As a consequence, my parents have never made a big deal out of the fact that I'm gay. I went to bed after sending a text message to my mom. However, tonight, Buddy, my boyfriend, gave me the finger in the face. I was given a lecture and then escorted to my room under the fear of removal of driving privileges. I took a photo of him and placed it on the table in front of him. The reason I was leaving the city after graduation was because my mother had met a new partner, and I told him that I was not and would not be looking for a new father figure, and I asked him to respect my choice. He accepted my decision. I told him that our relationship would not be a father-son one for some time, and that if he wanted to have a relationship with me, he would have to respect me as an adult. He accepted my explanation. I also informed him that I would not want to be in a relationship with him if he did not treat me like an adult with dignity and respect. My family has been notified, and they now feel that I am a jerk who should be punished for my actions. Ada, edit. The boyfriend does not reside with us and does not make any financial contributions to our home. The purpose of his visit is for him and his girls to spend quality time together, while just paying for their food. This is something I also do. Story 2. Ada for telling my GF, 20 female, that she is simply in a hole because of her behavior. If you can bear with me since I'm not a native speaker and make accommodations for my mistakes, I would appreciate it. In spite of the fact that my girlfriend, 20 female, and I, 21 female, have been together for more than a year, we have only met a small number of each other's friends as a result of our hectic schedules and the fact that we are members of quite different types of organizations. As a result of our agreement this year that we should spend more time getting to know each other's favorite friends, we started asking each other to house parties and other social gatherings of this kind. Her family was really simple to get along with and talk with despite the fact that I have a pretty anxious nature. In general, it was a nice and fantastic experience all around despite my nervousness. The consequence was that she invited me to another house party this weekend, which I gladly accepted. In spite of the fact that they had set up a group chat, in which I was not included, I had not received any information from my girlfriend, other than the knowledge that the party would be hosted in a different place. Instead of asking the questions normally as I expected, my girlfriend blew up on me out of nowhere, and I was completely taken by surprise. I had asked my girlfriend to ask the kid who was throwing the gathering really simple questions, such as how the sleeping arrangements would be in general, in terms of space, should we bring a mattress or a sleeping bag and so on, and she responded by bursting into tears. In light of my mismatch with her friend circle, she urged me to prepare ahead and not to be so obstinate in the future. She told me to follow their protocol and refrain from asking these kind of inquiries, and she said that she would not ask these questions on my behalf because of my incompatibility with her social circle. She heavily criticized my character. It was at this point that I explained to her that being curious and wanting to know the bare minimum, rather than being incompatible and a whiny, was just me wanting to be prepared for a full night in an unfamiliar environment with unfamiliar people and things in general. The fact that it was her good friend and I was only vaguely acquainted with the guy, I made small talk with him once, led me to believe that her behavior was simply rude. She acts like an, which I don't even understand because I always go out of my way to answer her questions and make the time pleasant for her. When we spend time with my squad, it was further stated. The woman got really upset with me, calling me in a hole and stating, as she had previously said, that my reasoning is illogical, that this is just how her organization runs, that she is powerless to change it, and that I am imposing unfair demands on her. In addition, she was called a hole by AITA because they refused to accept her explanations. Update. Despite the fact that my inquiry garnered little attention, I wanted to present you with an update anyway, so here it is. As a result of our argument, my girlfriend sent me a snapshot of the party's itinerary, which included all of the important information about the location and lodgings. I was able to plainly see that she was the one who initiated contact with the guy who had organized the party. I was surprised that she asked for the information given how unhappy she had been before, but she did, so I made arrangements for everything to go well and thanked her for her help with the situation. She was acting a bit strangely the next day, but I didn't say anything, other than a quick thank you, since I didn't want to get into another argument with her and I didn't want to upset her friends, so I chose not to say anything. We were going pretty rapidly on our approach to the party, so I decided not to say anything since I was already feeling a bit worried about meeting the new individuals. After a while, my girlfriend and I were becoming increasingly relaxed and cool with the guys who I had never met before. I was having a fantastic time when she decided to pull me over and tell me that she was sorry for her actions and that she was extremely upset with herself for having caused me pain. I was shocked and disappointed. Upon hearing about the dispute, she told me that she had given it some serious thought and had come to the conclusion that her argument was completely useless, as you all had pointed out. It was stated to me that she was angry for other reasons, school and family, but she didn't want to bother me, since I was and am still studying for my university exams, and she snapped at me out of frustration without thinking about the ramifications of her actions. Because we were traveling by bus, she said that she wanted to talk before the party, but that the area we were in wasn't the greatest one for her to do so. That was my understanding, which explains why she acted strangely at first until I clarified what she was talking about. When I refused, she pleaded with me to forgive her and promised that she would handle such circumstances better in the future, and that she would discuss her troubles with me. She was clearly in a terrible mood on that particular day, something I was absolutely ignorant of at the time. Everything worked out well in the end, and I'm extremely satisfied with how things came out. Edit 1. For those who have expressed concern on my grammar, I would want to tell you that you are accurate and that I am well aware of the situation. Edit 2. The fact that I was born in a different language than English means that I utilize a far higher amount of punctuation marks than the typical English speaker. My nationality is Hungarian, and I live in Hungary. In order to prevent misunderstanding, I initially think in Hungarian before translating my thoughts into English. As a result, I employ commas in sentences where a period would be used if the sentence were written in Hungarian.